Dear students, for today we'll see what do we mean by biasing of semiconductor diode. Now in our last class we saw that the formation of PN junction, that is p-type material and n-type material, when they were joined together we called it as a PN junction, and the PN junction structure was nothing but a semiconductor diode. Now this semiconductor diode, how we are going to make it to a conduct, how it is going to bias, how it is going to work, how current is going to flow through it, that we are going to see today. And in that there are two types. One is called as forward biasing and one is called as reverse biasing. Okay, so let's start with the topic. So our topic is semiconductor diode. Now in this we are going to see forward biasing of semiconductor diode and reverse biasing of semiconductor diode. In other words, you can also call it as PN junction diode under forward bias or PN junction diode under reverse bias. Anything, all means the same. So initially we'll see the first part, how does a PN structure looks and what is the symbol of a diode. So here you can see we have shown a p-type material and a n-type material. So here you can see there is a p-type material here. So here you can see p-type material and here you can see n-type material, and this is your PN junction. So this is called as PN junction and this is the structure of your PN junction. Okay, so p-type material joined with n-type material called as PN junction. The terminal near the p-type material, which is their metallic contact, is called as anode, and the terminal near n-type material, which is a metallic contact again, is called as cathode. Okay, now this PN junction itself is said as semiconductor diode, and when we say diode, there is a symbol for that semiconductor component which is called as semiconductor diode, which is nothing but PN junction, and the symbol looks like this. So here you can have a arrow line, okay, arrow line that is showing the direction of the positive charge carriers, that is the flow of positive charge carriers, or it is a mark of conventional current. Okay, and here there is a bar. Okay, so we have an arrow and one bar. The terminal connected to the arrow will be the anode terminal, and the terminal connected to the bar will be the cathode terminal. So you can say this is your P section here and this is your N section here. Okay, so PN junction, and the arrow is indicating the flow of positive charge carriers when the diode is forward biased. If we conclude the definition of semiconductor diode, then we can say that it is basically a PN junction, as we have shown here, with metallic contacts provided at the end. These metallic contacts are provided so that here you can apply a external voltage. So here you can see these are the points between which you can apply the electric voltage. So here you can apply the electric voltage. That is why these metallic contacts are there. So PN junction diode is also symbolically represented as we have shown in figure A, the schematic symbol. The direction of arrow here indicates the conventional direction of current, that is a direction of positive charge carriers. So in this case it is the holes which are going to travel from p-type material to n-type material. Okay, now this is a direction of the flow of charge carriers when the diode is applied with forward voltage. Okay, now what is this forward voltage, what is this forward bias, reverse bias, that we have to see in this topic. Okay, now at present you have understood what is PN junction and what is a symbol of that PN junction, which is called as semiconductor diode. Okay, now these things are clear. Now we will go to see the biasing of PN junction. Okay, so here you can again see the same type of concept where we have shown the PN junction. So here you have p-type of material, Here you have n type of material, and as we have seen in the last class, whenever the electrons from the n side they travel to the p side, and whenever the holes from the p side they travel to the n side, then the absent places of that becomes ions. So you have positive ions near the junction on the n side, and you have negative ions near the junction of the p side, and this both will be a depletion region which will not have any majority charge carriers. Majority charge carriers will be depleted and itself will have a certain voltage here. So here you can have certain voltage. Now this voltage will be your potential barrier voltage. Okay. Now this potential barrier voltage here in this area of depletion region will oppose the flow of majority carriers, that is holes from p-type to n-type semiconductor and electrons from n-type to p-type semiconductor. This is what we have seen in the formation of p-n junction, and this is the symbol of your p-n junction, and this is your anode terminal and this is your cathode terminal. It is nothing but a semiconductor diode symbol. Now this diode can be applied an external voltage. You can apply external voltage to this diode. So the proper application of external voltage to this diode is called as biasing. So whatever external voltage you apply, either you apply positive to the anode and negative to the cathode, or you can apply negative to the anode, positive to the cathode. You can apply any of this type of polarities, and whatever appropriate voltage you are going to apply, okay, whatever appropriate voltage you're going to apply to this diode, applying this external voltage and making the diode work is called as biasing of diode. Okay, now in this biasing of diode we can have two types. This application of external voltage can be applied to the diode in two types. One is called as forward bias and one is called as reverse bias. Okay, so first we will see the definition of what is biasing. So biasing of a diode: when a diode or any two terminal component is connected in a circuit, it has two biased conditions with the given supply. That is, depending upon the polarity of the battery connection to the component, they can be either forward biased or reverse biased. So we can have two conditions. One is called as forward bias condition and another one is called as reverse bias condition. If you see the circuit diagram of the symbol of the diode and the battery connection, then on a easy lines we can show forward bias connection and reverse bias connection as shown in the circuit diagram here. So if you see the first type of connection, which is forward bias, so here is your diode, this is your diode. When the anode terminal of the diode is connected to the positive of a battery, this is the external voltage, which is given by a battery. So if you connect the anode of the diode, anode terminal of the diode to the positive of the battery, positive terminal of the battery, and if you connect the cathode to the negative terminal of the battery, now if this is the connection, if the anode is made more positive with respect to cathode, then it is called as forward bias connection. It is called as forward bias connection. Similarly, if you reverse the voltage supply, that means if the anode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery and cathode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, then it is called as reverse bias connection. Okay, now these are the connections. This is how you are applying voltage. In the first case, the positive terminal of the battery is connected to the anode of the diode and negative terminal of the battery is connected to cathode of the diode. And in the second case, negative terminal of the battery is connected to anode of the diode and positive terminal is connected to the cathode of the diode. Okay, now here as a diode we see that anode and cathode, anode we take it as positive with respect to cathode, negative for a diode to conduct properly in a forward bias condition. Then we will go to see the forward bias diagram. Now here you can see in the first diagram, figure A, we have shown P and N type of material. So here you are having P type of semiconductor in which you have holes as majority charge carriers, and those are your positive charge carriers. Okay, and in n type you have electrons as majority charge carriers. Those are negative charge particles. These are negative charge particles. And when you formed the p-n junction, the majority charge carriers were crossing over, and the remaining places, the absent places of their majority charge carriers positions, were taken as ions which were immobile, and because of that we have formed this depletion layer. Now this depletion layer will have its own voltage or own electric field. Now that electric field will be just opposing to the voltage applied in forward bias condition. Now in forward bias condition, we have said that the anode terminal, which is the p-type semiconductor terminal, it is connected to the positive of the battery, positive of the external voltage, and cathode, that is the terminal of the n-type semiconductor, is connected to negative of the battery. Okay, now if this is the connection, it is called as forward bias connection. Okay, now the figure A shows that we are connected the p-n junction, that is a diode in forward bias. Now what will happen is this positive terminal will see that the positive charge carriers have a force of repelling force is there, so that this charge carriers can move like this, move towards the n-type semiconductor. Similarly, this negative terminal will have a repel force on this electrons, and these electrons can also move to the p-type semiconductor. Okay, now the applied voltage, this voltage should first overcome the electric field of the depletion region, that is the potential barrier, and after that the crossing of the majority charge carriers, that is holes from p-type, will go to the n-type material, and the electrons from n-type will go to the p-type material as you increase this applied external voltage. Okay, this is what happens in your p-n junction diode whenever it is forward biased. Now as a result, the depletion layer width decreases as you increase the applied voltage. Clear? Now here the figure B shows, as the depletion layer width decreases, the barrier height is reduced. The effective barrier height under forward bias is shown here. So here you can see 1, 2 and 3 positions we have shown here. So here the first position, that is this height, this is the voltage. Okay, this is the voltage. This will be your barrier potential without battery. This is barrier potential without battery. Without battery, the force which is opposing here, this force which is opposing this battery, which is this electric field which is opposing the forward bias, is without battery. It is having that height. Then if you see the second one, the second one is low battery voltage. This is low battery voltage. If it is low battery voltage, then the opposing voltage will decrease when the applied voltage is low battery voltage. And the third one is high voltage battery. This is high voltage battery. So when the applied voltage is very high, then the potential barrier will decrease. So this is when it is applied voltage is very high. This is when applied voltage is low, and this is when no applied voltage is applied. Now this gives the voltage over here which is formed because of the depletion region. Clear? That is the opposing voltage for the applied voltage, because applied voltage has to overcome this opposing voltage, and then only the charge carriers from P side can go to the N side, and the charge carriers from N side can go to the P side, and we can say that the diode is conducting, the current is flowing through diode. As you increase the applied voltage, the moment becomes more and the current goes on increasing. Now here there is one more term which you should know, is injected minorities. Clear? Now this term, what is mean by this injected minority? Okay. Now due to the applied voltage, electrons from N side cross the depletion region and reach the P side. Okay. Now if you're applying a voltage, this is the applied voltage, the electrons from N side, okay, these electrons from N side, which are majority charge carriers in N side, will go to the P side. Okay. Once they go to the P side, they are minority charge carriers in P side. Okay. That means they are pushed to the P side, they cross over to the P side. Okay. But in the region of P, okay, these electrons will be minority charge carriers. Similarly, whenever these holes from P side, which were majority charge carriers, because of the forward bias voltage, when they go to the N side region, okay, they become minority charge carriers on the N side region. Okay. Now this forward bias voltage, whatever we are applying, this can be also viewed as a minority carrier injection. Okay. So these are injected electrons from N to P side and injected holes from P to N side, whatever is shown because of the forward bias voltage. Clear? Because the carriers, when they cross over on the other side, they are considered as minority, and you are injecting this because of the applied of the forward bias voltage. Then a small theory on what is forward bias condition, as we have told up till now. When a diode is connected in a circuit, when its anode to the positive terminal and cathode to the negative terminal of the supply, then such a connection is said to be forward bias condition. This kind of connection makes the circuit more and more forward biased and helps in more conduction. A diode conducts well in forward bias condition. Then if you go to see what is reverse bias condition, then here again we can show that this is the P type of material here, this is the N type of material here. When this anode terminal, when it is connected to negative of a battery, and this cathode terminal, when it is connected to positive of a battery, okay, it is called as reverse bias connection. And in that case, what happens, the holes in this P type semiconductor are attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery, and the electrons, which are negative charge carriers in N side semiconductor, are attracted by this positive terminal, and that is why the depletion width, the depletion layer width increases. The depletion layer width increases, and there is no crossover of majority charge carriers from P to N or N to P. Okay, and here you can see the two types of effective voltage. Now this voltage, whatever you are going to show here, that is because of the depletion region. Okay, now here you can show position number 1 and position number 2. Okay, these are potential barrier under reverse bias. Clear? So this is your position number 1 and this is your position number 2. So here you can see, originally you can have your, whenever the voltage is applied, you can have your potential barrier like this, and when the voltage applied is increased, the potential barrier can increase in this way like this. So position number 1 and 2 shows the initial and the applied condition in the reverse bias condition. Now a small theory on reverse bias condition: when a diode is connected in a circuit with its anode to the negative terminal and cathode to the positive terminal of the supply, then such a connection is called as reverse bias condition. This kind of connection makes the circuit more and more reverse biased and helps in minimizing and preventing the conduction. A diode cannot conduct in reverse bias condition. Okay, so there is no majority charge carriers, that is holes from P side and electrons from N side, can cross over. There is no flow of current due to majority carriers in reverse bias condition. Clear? Then you can have a practical circuit that is called as experimental circuit arrangement, and you can study the VI characteristics, that is the voltage current characteristics of a diode. So VI characteristics, that is voltage current characteristics of semiconductor diode. Okay, now in this characteristics, we have taken a graph in the first quadrant you have this y-axis, which is current in milliamperes, and then you have y-axis in the negative side, or current in microamperes. So here you can see current in microamperes. You have x-axis on the positive side, voltage in volts, and on the negative side you have voltage in minus volts. Okay, so this will be your minus volts. Now this is a graph, and on this graph we are going to plot the forward characteristics and reverse characteristics. Now the first figure here shows forward bias condition. This is your forward bias condition. Now once you close this switch is closed. Okay, then here is your diode. The diode will be applied with this external voltage here. Now the diode is applied, that is anode is connected to positive terminal, cathode is connected to negative terminal, and so it is in forward bias. So as you increase this voltage, the potential barrier will be overcome and the majority charge carriers will cross over and current starts flowing in this diode, which you can measure by connecting a ammeter, that is milliammeter, in series with the diode, and the voltage across the diode you can measure by connecting a voltmeter. So voltmeter is connected across the diode and ammeter is connected in series with the diode. So in forward bias condition we will increase this voltage. This voltage will increase from 0, then we will increase it to 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, so on. So here you can see we are increasing it as 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1.0. Okay, till the potential barrier is overcome. There is no crossover of majority charge carriers. The current is 0. But after the potential barrier is overcome, the current starts flowing because the majority charge carriers start crossing the depletion region, and you can see this. This is nothing but your forward current, and this is your forward bias condition. This is your forward biased condition. This is your forward current. Okay. Now this voltage, where it has to overcome the potential barrier, depends upon the material by which the diode is made. If it is made of silicon, then this potential barrier will be around 0.7 volt. If it is made up of germanium, then it will be around 0.3 volt. Clear? Now in the second circuit, if you see, it is a reverse bias condition. If you close this switch here, if you make it closed, so if you close it, this diode, you can see the anode terminal is connected to negative polarity of the battery and cathode is connected to the positive polarity of the battery. Then the depletion region in the PN junction will increase because of this reverse bias condition. As you increase it, the depletion region will go on increasing. And for minority charge carriers, it will be like forward bias and they start crossover. There will be a small leakage current which is flowing, which will be of micro amps, and that can be measured by a microammeter in series with the diode here. So here you can see a microammeter which can show the small leakage current which is flowing through the diode because of minority charge carriers. And here also you can see the voltage across the diode by connecting a voltmeter. Clear? Now here if you see the reverse voltage, whatever you are going to apply here will be a little larger as compared to the forward voltage. It will be say 20, 40, 60, 80. Okay, so here you can see 20, 40, 60, 80. This is all the reverse voltage. At certain reverse voltage, what happens? The breakdown takes place. That is, breakdown takes place. It will be a avalanche breakdown in your normal diode. It can be a Zener breakdown in your Zener diode. Okay, where the amount of minority charge carriers will increase, and when they increase, they multiply. There is a large amount of current which is going to flow, and this will be called as a breakdown region. This will be called as breakdown region, where the reverse current due to minority charge carriers will go on increasing. Clear? And if that increases more further, it can also damage the diode. So there is a limit for that up till where you can increase. Okay. Now here this breakdown occurs. So this is called as your breakdown voltage, VBR. Clear? Now this is the graph which is showing reverse bias condition. This is showing reverse bias condition. So in the first quadrant, we are showing forward bias condition. In the third quadrant, we are showing a reverse bias condition. So this is nothing but your voltage ampere, that is VI characteristics of diode. Then if you see the concept of resistance of a diode, for a diodes we define a quantity called dynamic resistance as the ratio of small change in applied voltage, that is called as delta V. So here we have shown the small change in applied voltage, delta V, to a small change in applied current, that is delta I. So this is according to Ohm's law. Whenever we speak about Ohm's law, we know that resistance is equal to voltage upon current. So a small change in voltage upon small change in current will give you the dynamic resistance RD of the diode. Okay. Thank you, students.